Thank you.
Gentleman is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. First to my colleagues on the Appropriations Subcommittee, Mr. Amadei, as well as my longtime dear friend, Mr. Espiat. Thank you for your hard work. But I do rise in opposition to H.R. 4364 because it inadequately funds the legislative branch, which is the branch charged under Article 1 of the U.S. Constitution. This funds our responsibilities to it as members of the House of Representatives, and it underfunds dramatically the Capitol Police, drastically cuts funding to the architect of the Capitol, and guts the House Office of Diversity and Inclusion. And as my colleague has mentioned, I serve as the ranking member of the Committee on House Administration. I know firsthand how important it is that our House officers and congressional support agencies are adequately resourced. We all rely on our nonpartisan institutional partners, some of whom are in this chamber right now helping us carry out our constitutional obligations, keep us safe, provide subject matter expertise, and facilitate the legislative process. For that reason, I'm very disappointed this bill, which includes a nearly 5% cut to House and joint legislative branch items, inadequately funds many of these entities and the responsibility that they're required to carry out. For example, at a time in which the Capitol Police is experiencing an officer shortage crisis, this bill fails to fully fund the department's salaries appropriation request. How can we hope to attract qualified officers if we don't provide competitive salaries? How can we ensure officers are better trained if they're regularly forced to work overtime rather than attend training sessions? How do we improve officer morale if they need to work double shifts instead of going home to spend time with their families? The men and women of the Capitol Police have our backs. They have demonstrated that in the time of crisis in this chamber. We need to have theirs with more than just words. The bill would also cut funding for the architect of the Capitol by hundreds of millions of dollars and fail to meet the agency's budget request for the Capitol Police buildings, grounds, and security account. This would hinder the AOC's ability to fulfill all of its responsibilities, making Congress less secure, harming our national security, and putting members, staff, and our visiting constituents at risk during a time of heightened threats. Finally, I'm deeply frustrated. This bill includes culture war initiatives like eliminating the House Office of Diversity and Inclusion. The Office of Diversity and Inclusion was established based on a bipartisan, unanimous Modernization Committee recommendation. It provides important services for and works closely with offices on both sides of the aisle. In fact, since its inception in 2019, 225 Republican offices have utilized its services. It's astonishing that my majority colleagues are going to sabotage their own ability to recruit the best and brightest just to satisfy right-wing extremist grievances about diversity. For these reasons and more, I cannot support the bill. I urge that we do not adopt this bill, and with that, I yield back.